What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Jaxx Drinkwater Southern Cooking and Barbecue. In today's video, we're going to be smoking up al pastor ribs. We're going to be doing it on the Masterbuilt 560. If you guys like al pastor tacos, you're going to love these ribs. Let's get going. Our smoker is getting up to temp, and we're going to go ahead and give these ribs a trim. All right, so you can see we got 3 racks of ribs here we're going to be doing, and you know, these ribs are pretty good. Not a whole lot of trimming. I like the look of this one. We might just take off something over here. Same over here. All right, I'm just going to go in about 2 bones here and just kind of square them up a little bit. I'm not going to throw that away, and we're going to smoke that as well. We'll use it for some beans or something. I like that. Look, we're not entering any kind of a competition, so I'm not too worried about it. This one looks pretty good. I might get this little stuff here off just because it's hanging. Liking that one. All right, last one. This one's a little weird, so I'm just going to take about right there off. All right, that looks about good. Okay, let's season these bad boys up. Now that we got our ribs trimmed, it's time to season. So we're trying to keep the al pastor theme here, so we're going to be using this achote as a binder, followed by we're going to do a rub of this. This is Uncle Steve's competition pig powder. I'll leave a link below where you can get some of this stuff. So we're going to go on that, a layer with that, followed by a layer of this Killer Hogs barbecue hot rub. Now this is going to give it a little bit of a spice, but I want to say something here. So not really necessary to go with both of these if you didn't want to. This right here is perfectly good on its own, but we want to keep this red al pastor look of these ribs going. So as you can see, this hot rub, it has a nice color to it. So basically we're just using this for more, not necessarily flavor. This is going to be our flavor pop. This is going to be our heat and our color. Some of you, if you live in Texas, I think you might can get this Uncle Steve's at a place called Buc-ee's. If not, I'll leave a link below where you can get all of these. This stuff right here is made by El Yucateco. It's not a sponsored video. If you guys get any of this achote liquid here, make sure you wear gloves because this will stain your hands. Been there, done that. So this recipe actually started out, I saw it. I've been wanting to do it ever since I saw it. It was from Hardcore Carnivore folks. And I'm actually thinking about doing a pork butt the same way. Well, we got a little deal here. I should have turned this other one over first. Alright, that was our competition pig by Uncle Steve. Now we're going to go on with the Killer Hogs hot. Alright, let's put these jokers on. I'm going to put 2 on this top rack here. This one's going to have to go on the bottom because it's too wide. One of the things about this Masterbuilt 560 is it's a little small for all these ribs side by side. That would be my only complaint about the Masterbuilt 560. I would need to go with the bigger one. Alright, we're rocking at about 2.5 hours in. I didn't say this before, but I'm cooking at 235 degrees. Trying to go a little bit longer, you know, maybe even get 3 hours out of this before we have to wrap. I've been giving it a little spritz, you know, every half hour. And I've also, just to say, I'm going to put this down for a second. Not only have I been spritzing it about every half an hour, but sometimes I've switched it, I've moved it around every time, except for this time. I've kind of rotated to get the rack of ribs that are on the bottom, and I've rotated up to the top, then moved one from the bottom, and then I just kind of, the one in the very back of the 560, I've been moving it forward. Hope you understand that. All right, and I'm about ready to do that again, so I'll show you that now, what I'm about ready to do. All right, so what I've been doing is I've been taking this one in the back, moving this one to the rear, right? Then taking this one from the bottom here, putting it on top, then this one going on the bottom. And actually, this one's a little thin, so I'm going to put this meaty side to the back because my hot spot's over here. One of the things I want to say about this 560 is if you're cooking at like ribs at 275 degrees, you got to be careful with that bottom one. Remember, those top racks are your friend. If you're going to be cooking, say, more than 2 racks of ribs and you're going to be using that bottom grate there, make sure you're doing the rotation. And also keep your heat, you know, a little bit low, like 225, 235. If you go up to 275, then you're going to burn those bottom racks of ribs. And if you don't know where your hot spots are on your 560, if you go check out a video that I did, I'll leave that link right here. I put some biscuits on there, and I show you how I actually found the hot spots in my 560. And you would don't take what my hot spots are on my 560, but it just shows you the method so you can try that method too, so you'll know where your hot spots are. All right, guys, we're 3 hours in. I love the color of these jokers, so we're gonna go ahead and give them a wrap. Before we put those ribs down, we're just gonna give this a little bit of a spray here. Go over it with some Uncle Steve's competition pig powder there. Throw a little bit more water on there. Nothing fancy. Gonna go meat side down there. Now let's give it a wrap. Whew, those little badgers are hot. All right, we'll do the rest of them. So we were meat side up for this 3 hours. Now we're going, after the wrap, meat side down. So now that we got those wrapped and on that smoker, let's start our sauce. So to begin with our sauce, we're going to go in with 1 cup of water. I'm going to leave the amounts in the description for you guys. Go in with 1 cup of white sugar, and I'm going to show you another sugar we're going to be putting in. So we're also going to be using some piloncillo, I guess you would call it. We're just only going to need about 4 ounces of that. Now, if you don't know what this stuff is, it's pure cane sugar that has been boiled down into a syrup, and then they just put it into molds. You can get it at most Latin grocery stores. So we're going to go ahead and add that to our mix here. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to melt those sugars down, and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. All right, we have all of that nice and melted up there, so we're going to go in with the rest of our ingredients. So you're going to need the juice of 1 lime. Followed by some apple cider vinegar. That's a 1/3 cup going in. And lastly, we're going to go in with our chopped up pineapple that we roasted earlier. Let me tell you, that pineapple that we charred up is killer. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bring this up to a simmer, kind of chop up those bits and bobs of that pineapple as we go, and we're going to reduce this until we get a nice thick glaze. It's okay for it to be chunky because that's what we want. Sauce is done, ribs are done. Let's pull them, unwrap them, and sauce them up. Ooh, baby, look at that. All right, let's see. Let's keep this juice in here. All right, let's give them a flip. Ooh. All right. Looking good. Looking good. Again, there's some chunks in here, and that's fine. We like that. It's going to give it some texture, along with the texture that we already have. Man, the smells are... Can you smell that? Camera woman?
I can smell it.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how we're going to eat all these ribs. I guess we're going to have to give some to Albert next door, yeah?
I sure think he's going to hate it.
So these badgers have been on about 10 minutes, so let's pull one out and let's give it a sample. Beautiful. Let's cut these jokers up. Woo. Wow. Tender. All right, let's give these jokers a taste. I'm going to just go with this. I don't know. This one looks good. All right. Here we go. That, fantastic. Might have overcooked them to some people's liking because they are pretty close to falling off the bone. All right, guys. Al pastor ribs. I'm going to say do it with ribs. I'm going to say do it with a pork butt. I think you could even do this with pork chops and it'd be fantastic. All right, guys. El pastor ribs. Do it.